Hi guys, Ray here, City Fan TV. Hope you're all doing very well indeed. I'm still here on the Wirral. Very blustery it is today, so apologies for any poor quality sound, any distortion there. Okie dokie. The question on my lips today is the Manchester City project over? Is it dead and buried? Tell you what I mean, let's look at it. Okay, just looking over recent times, we've had a poor season by our lofty high standards. You know, most teams would say, well, it's not a bad season. You know, you finished third in the league, you qualified for the next stage of the Champions League, you got out of the group, you got to the final of the FA Cup. It wasn't too bad. That's if you're Man United, Spurs, Arsenal, and most of the time Liverpool and Chelsea. You'd think that's a decent season, but for our lofty high standards, you know, winning so many FA Cups, Champions League as well, once a couple of years back, 6 titles in 8 years, something crazy like that. It wasn't a great season, losing so many games, playing so poorly far too often, giving up 2-0 leads, 3-0 leads against Feyenoord. Wow, that was terrible. So it's not been a great season on the pitch. We've made some terrible decisions. I think letting Ilkay Gundogan go was a really poor decision. Bringing him back was another poor decision because the guy's gone. Now, if you thought he weren't good enough to offer a long enough contract a couple of seasons ago when he went to Barca, why do you think he's good enough to come back a year later? Now, personally, I was glad he came back, but he's gone. He's not the person he was. And then letting KDB go when I think he's got another year in him, maybe not full throttle KDB, but even a half throttle KDB is pretty decent. I'd have done it the other way around. I'd have kept KDB for one more season and forced Gundogan out. So some bad decisions there. Pep's made a lot of poor decisions. Cheeky's going. Some of our purchases in recent times have been decidedly dodgy. You know, Calvin Phillips and all the people we bought in January haven't looked the business. You know, Marmoush has been all right, but Nico Gonzalez, Kushinov, this looks all right. Reyes, we made some poor decisions. Nunes, couldn't get in the team as an attacking midfielder or any kind of midfielder really last season, and now he's playing right back. Jack Grealish, 100 million quid, and the guy 3 years later, 4 years later, he's washed up. Can't even get on the pitch in the FA Cup final as a substitute. Can't get in there, and a kid who's never played before gets on the pitch instead. So lots of poor buying decisions, and I actually think lots of poor selling decisions. You look back at the Cole Palmer, that was poor business from us, really. We forced out. Yes, Pep wouldn't play him. That's one of the big things. Cole Palmer would never be given a free rein, a free role at City like he's got at Chelsea. And I've said it many times. Pep didn't like him making mistakes, didn't like him taking risks. And other people who've gone, like Morgan Rogers, I think we sold him for £1 million to Middlesbrough. How much is he worth? 40-50 million now. Jeremy Frimpong, Liverpool have just bought him for about 35 million euros. We sold him for, I think, less than €1 million to Celtic a few years ago. Others as well. Liam Delap, Chelsea getting him for 30 million quid. He's worth more, but I think his release clause is only 30 million quid, so that's what he's going for. I think on the open market it'd have gone between 40 and 50 million, scoring 12 goals in a poor relegated Ipswich team. He's worth a bit more than that. Others, how did we let Michael Elise slip through our fingers? He was at our academy for one season. He's gone. Romeo Lavia, now we might say he's never going to make it, but he was sold by Southampton for 40 million quid to Chelsea. So there must have been all right, it's Chelsea, but I still think there must have been something about Romeo Lavia. And there's one or two others as well that we've let go, and we think, you know, going back to last season, we let Alvarez go and we didn't replace him. Didn't have cover for Rodri. Not proper cover, as we've seen this season. How can you not have proper cover for Rodri? Haven't been pushing teams to get the big signings done. You know, Frimpong's gone to Liverpool, Kirkes is going to Liverpool, and Florian Wirtz is going to Liverpool. We stuck it out with old players like Kyle Walker, let him go on loan, didn't replace him. So many mistakes that we've made in the last 3 or 4 years. But here's the thing. So that's the question: is the Manchester City project over? Is Sheikh Mansour now bored? No, absolutely not. They've made their brass on City, and they're going to continue to make their brass on City. You know, with Co-op Live pulling in massive numbers, the expansion to the stadium, the hotel that's been built in Manchester, the Abu Dhabi United group are going to make, and Sheikh Mansour is going to make an absolute bundle of money. I think they got projects through, housing projects that, you know, detractors would say only got through because of their relationship with Manchester City Council, and you know, all the jobs we brought to Manchester, and the fact that I think we could own the stadium outright ourselves, but we decided to lease it and pay the council whatever it is, a few million a year for whatever, 250 years. Ridiculous. So, you know, they've done well at Manchester's done well at Abu Dhabi being here. And yeah, I can't see them, but I can see them maybe selling a little bit more of their investment in City. You know, they've already sold some to was it Clearwater, and a Chinese group they sold some to, so they could sell a few percent more, make more money. So I can't see them getting in that way bored, and I can't see it in the long run failing. And here's why: Manchester City are making too much money to fail in the long term. Okay. You look at other clubs who've struggled, like Liverpool have struggled on and off with the Gillette and Hicks, and they've turned it around, and look, they're a powerhouse again now. Why? Because they had the fans behind them and the financial backing, the financial muscle to go out and buy success. You know, people want to criticise City for buying success. Everybody does it. You know, you don't spend 120 million euros on Florian Wirtz if you're not going to try and buy success. So everybody's at it. Let's be clear. Man United, they'll eventually be back. They're sticking around like a bad smell, but they'll eventually be back. Why? Because they've got the fan base and the financial clout to keep on buying players, keep on trying to come back. Let's get across this road. So United will be back eventually. Chelsea, what a basket case they've been for the last few seasons. But hey, look at them. You know, they're back. Qualified, was it 4th in the Premier League? Got the Champions League next season. Won that Tin Pot Cup, the Europa Conference League. They'll be back. Arsenal, eventually will be back. They haven't won the league title for over 20 years, I think. Is it 20 seasons now? But they're back. They're still hanging around the top echelons of the league. Why? Because they've got the money to be able to do that. And I think that's what tends to happen. If you've got enough money, you will eventually get back towards the top. I'm sure United eventually will move up the table. I'm sure Spurs will eventually move up the table because they've got the finances to do it. So is the Manchester City project over? No way. There's fans out there who wish it was. They said for the last 16 years that Sheikh Mansour will get bored and he'll leave. He's still around. City is still around. And I think forevermore, long after I'm gone, long after you're gone, City will still be there and challenging for all the top trophies. You'll see. Don't take my word for it. You'll see in the years to come, City will, if it's not next year, it'll be the year after, but City will buy their way back and continue at the top table for many, many decades to come. Guys, if you're new to the channel, it would be fantastic if you could subscribe. If you hit that bell icon, you'll be notified as soon as new videos come out. We'll see you around Blues.